Hey guys, CruiseNickX back with more Final Fantasy XIV goodness. When we last left off, we had just beaten Ifrit, and now we have our, players' time has gone by. I'm gonna leave the Solar for a minute to walk around the Waking Sands. We're gonna check out a little bit of area around here. I'm losing it. Let's just get back to work. We've wasted enough time in Eorzea already. A hero in the making. Minfilian is wearing a wry smile. Might it have something to do with your newfound fame? Here we go.
Until not so very long ago, you were but one of the many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Thancred that the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally besetted the primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in so doing. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. We have guests, Bayan, or rather, you have guests.
Beg pardons! Who are these tools? Ah, Lady Minfilia. Radiant as always. I am given to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero into their midst. I am here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Limsa Laminsa, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks.
As you can see, Bayan, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of Bayan's deeds spread so quickly. That the immortal flames should know of his triumph is to be expected. But what of the other Grand Companies?
And Tataru's freaking the fuck out. Your reputation precedes you, Master Oronia. 'Tis no ordinary man who can face a primal and emerge the victor. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant men such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the Twelveswood. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you at Master Oronia. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. Why, even before you aided us against the Amalja and their dread primal, yours was already a respected name in Ul'dah. Our people know you and love you as well. A man of your talent belongs with the immortal flames. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. It is only natural we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see this grand vessel of Limsa to the shores of glory. Hey, Minfilia?
Very well. Though I am quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help clarify your thoughts on this matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Limsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. Serving a Grand Company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may well prove useful to you in your endeavors. If you are agonizing over which of the Grand Companies best serves your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make to this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you are entitled to do so. And yet, I can see that it is no small choice you face. A thought occurs to me. You will, of course, recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I am given to understand that the leader of each Grand Company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers?
A fine suggestion. You are as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well. Let Bayan hire our leaders speak, then return here with his decision. We eagerly await your answer. And of course they're going to sit here and wait.
I know full well what adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited to the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join a Grand Company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, Bayan, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that great power is wont to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet however vigilant you are but one man. In the midst of a Grand Company, however, you will be one man amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that we can continue to rely on your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The Grand Companies seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of a location. Eorzea is changing, Bayan, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now it's time you make ready your journey. Before you depart, Be sure to speak to Tataru. She will apprise you as to where and when the Remembrance services are due to take place.
Great, we have to talk to a potato. Let's see. Alright, so we've got the Remembrance. Each Remembrance service is held at its main area. Alright, so our first stop is going to be to Gridania, where we'll take join the where we'll head to the Remembrance service. In retrospect, I probably should have taken a Chocobo Porter there. Oh, hey Kevin, hey and hey T4C, just noticed the chat line and that I been barely paying attention to. Yeah, I am doing the story again, T4C, but yeah, I'm still in Lamia because it's kinda easier on me. I don't know why. But I might make a character in Exodus in the near future. Not sure. And the battle goes good, Kevin. Just traveling and whatnot. Alright, we'll take the Chocobo Porter to Ul'dah while... Oh. Well, I put an ice pack on my neck. Where'd I put the ice pack? I had an ice pack. Oh, there it is. Gives me a little bit of time to just chill here, chat with people. It's good to be back on my PC. Even though I'm thinking I need to start work on yeah, what's the last name? Let's... Ooh, 4 viewers, look at that. Oh, ooh. Oh, man. I gotta tell you that... Oh, man. It feels so good to have an ice pack right on my neck. I have been having... Oh, look at that. I still have yet to turn off the leveling system, which is bullshit. I might want to do that tomorrow. I might want to do that before the next live stream. Yeah, probably before the next live stream. Oh, finally, someone logged in. Alright, so our first stop in this whole ordeal is, yeah, I know it's you, Matt. Jesus Christ. Oh, my head. Alright. So our first stop is to Gridania, and the only reason we're passing through Ul'dah beforehand is because I just want to take the airship instead of teleporting all the way to fucking Gridania. We'll also be back in this general area within the next couple of live streams. I just want to check and see. Oh yeah, now it's starting to lag again. I hate at the start of every live stream it starts to lag a bit. 1836. I need 36. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I'm almost there. If it wasn't for the fact that I always have to change, If it wasn't for the fact that I always have to, travel and shit. Alright, so our first stop is to the airship landing. Clovis Weishaupt. Huh. I think I saw that name somewhere, but I'll be sure to keep a lookout for it. In fact, let me put it under hopefully I find them, because who knows? They may have changed their name in the process. Alright, so our first stop is to Gridania. Dun, dun, dun. And we're off. Well, we'll see. Alright. Oh, great, it's fucking raining. Heh. Alright. There's always gotta be some kind of rain on my parade. Let's see what the Skywatcher says about this weather, which should change within the next couple of Eorzean hours. Gridania. I mean, we could wait an Eorzean hour and a half. Oh, my neck. Oh, man. And here comes the lag again. Why is it always chooses to lag at the good points? There we go. Back to normal. You know what? Before I forget, take out this new adventurer crap. The only reason I have that new adventurer shit is because this is a new character. Alright, nope. I'm trying to wait. No, do I have all the Ethernet shards here? No, I do not. Now I have access to Miketo's amphitheater. But while I'm here, seeing as how we have a little bit of time before the rain stops, we can make our way to the to Nofika's altar to get Conjurer, because we need to get it for Paladin. Yeah, we already know the history and whatnot, so we're gonna just skip some of these parts. Namely cutscenes, because we've already done this part of the oh yeah, there is another thing about various quest jobs. If you start a different class than your main one, they do add a little bit of added dialogue. So this one particularly, they just give you a weapon and blah 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 blah. And now I have Conjurer. Now in order to equip it, I need to do that. Well, first I need to equip these, because I need those like crazy. Alright, secondly, we're now going to equip No, first I'm going to change my character gear, because I don't want... I don't want to be as naked as a jaybird, so... No, not that one. Fuck it, we'll just wear Cloud's shit. The rest can really stay on hand, but we're gonna go to inventory, get this weather cane, and equip it. And the only thing we kept was the brand new ring. Because, oh, it increases experience for when level 30 and below. Works for me. Also equip the Ring of Fortitude, and that's all we can really equip right now. Oh, besides headgear, which we will equip the Helm of Light to start off with. So we're going to create a new gear set for Conjury. I'm going to move it into there, even though we're really not going to do much of anything, if not anything with it. But I am going to grab this quest here. Alright, it's sunny out, so while I am going to do my my first cane quest, I am gonna get back to the main quest line. Alright, so the first So our first destination is that of Miketo's amphitheater to attend a remembrance service led by the Elder Seedseer. Alright, let's see what happens.
I lost my son to the calamity. The three Seedseers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body.
Huh.
Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the green wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seedseer. The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves. nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to
Hey, there's Isumion.
under the noble standard of the Twin Adder, that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat.
Yeah, woohoo!
5 years ago, the Alliance
They
met
clap
the
for
armies
no
of the
reason.
Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk the high roads without fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
God, that chick sounds like a
Wrought by
bitch.
the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity. We must think of the children.
Woods will be.
Oh my god, really? They just said that. We must think of the children. Fuck the children! Well, I think introductions are in order.
If you'll permit me, Alfino. And my sister, Alize, at your service. I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
The Gridanians are unfortunate enough to have contented with 2 beast tribes. The Ixal are unquestionably more troublesome, being of a naturally warlike disposition, and want to summon their bloodthirsty primal, Garuda. The Sylphs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians. Until recently, at least. Alas, they have grown aloof, a change observed at roughly the time they summoned the primal Ramu. The Gridanians have no love for war, and they consider open conflict a last resort. Though they clash with the Ixal ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Sylphs, they are as yet bound by a peace treaty, though one wonders how long it will be before it is broken. The Twelveswood was grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the wood, and thereby the power of the elementals, will put an end to their woes. Yet how long will that take? Centuries, I'd wager. Meanwhile, the Ixal continue their incursions, spurred on by Garuda and her insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later it will come to all-out war, and when it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove to them then? Alright. Well, we are here essentially for... We'll be returning for the My First Cain quest in a little while, so you're gonna see a lot of that, you're probably going to be seeing a lot of that, Conjurer class. Alright, our next stop is back to Ul'dah, where we'll, meet up with General Raubon. I love how it's lagging for no fucking reason other than it can. And back to Ul'dah we are. Our main stop here is the Royal Promenade. So, so we're gonna go to the Hustings Strip. Alright, let's do it.
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanima herself.
And Reborn as well.
Of course, they had a woman voice the empathy for cry out for Raubon.
You souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore. Hurrah! Raubon! Since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold, where by the grace and glory of Naldal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah!
Damn, now this guy knows how to talk.
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you, line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people. Ya for Ul'dah!
Man, Raubon knows how to talk.
Your grace.
Raubon? People of Ul'dah, I, Nanimo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah. Yet those who measure that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ul'dah that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the Inferno, for we are, by fire, reborn! Forsooth!
The time is now!
I believe!
Fancy meeting you again.
The Uldons have a long history of conflict with the Amalja, the beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Judging by your look of distaste, I take it you have encountered them. The Uldons do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So have they dealt with Ifrit thus far, smothering his flames each time he is stoked to life. Yet he is but one of several problems. Though they have been quiet these past 5 years, the Garleans are not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees come to arrive in droves, and Ul'dah has no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, not even the Sultanate's coffers are bottomless. And even assuming they had the coin, resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Amalja are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, the Uldon send their forces to smite the primal, and though they invariably succeed, each victory is bought with blood. It is a war of attrition which they cannot well sustain. Small wonder, then, that the Immortal Flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventurer of your experience would be a most welcome addition to their ranks. For their sake, I hope that the Flame General's words struck a chord with you. Alright, that takes care of that, that little speech. Our next stop, Limsa Minsa, to hear the Admiral's speech. Oh yeah. And the lag again. It would probably help if I stopped a few, things that are in the background. Alright. Here we are in Limsa. Alright, so this is the third and final Remembrance ceremony we have to,
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride. "700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say.
I swear, Alphinaud is kind of
The Crimson Field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates. While
he's
the
kind of
Black Starship
sarcastic.
represents a pirate vessel.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom Standard, and our grand company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners, and together we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage, yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The Sahagin have risen?
While the mines of Ogomoro spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now the curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves, till sea swallows all.
Long live the Admiral!
Admiral Melvin!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll
I'll follow ye to the seven hells, Admiral!
Fancy meeting you again.
As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Limsa is plagued by two beast tribes. The first are the fish-like Sahagin, worshippers of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. As if the beast tribe's presence weren't troublesome enough, the Garleans have also chosen to erect a fortress right in the Laminson's backyard. And that is to say naught of internal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to the blood feuds between the various factions, and while they fight amongst themselves, the Garleans whet their blades and watch. If the Laminsons are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside, and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. To this end, I expect they will soon take decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom Standard will be drenched in a deeper shade of crimson ere long. That a capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. Oh, that takes care of that.
Bayan, this is Minfilia. You are well, I hope. Would I be correct in thinking that the final Remembrance service has now concluded? A moment ago, you say? What a coincidence! Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies. Well, delighted though we are to have them here at the Waking Sands, it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back.
Alright, we're gonna teleport back to Horizon using an Aetheryte ticket that we get so many of. Excuse me. Alright, now we're gonna take the Chocobo Keep to Vesper Bay. And of course it's gonna lag every time it's on a good part. There we go. Alright, let's report to Minfilia. Ooh, what's this? Heh. The entrance to the Solar. There we go.
Welcome back, Bayan. Were the Grand Company leader's words as illuminating as you had hoped? Aye, each nation is beset with problems. I trust you see now why your services are in such demand. Would that there were more of you, Bayan. But you must be tired from your journey. Why don't you rest a while? Take a moment to reflect on your decision. Once your mind is made up, pray give the Grand Company officers your answer.
The gods only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep. The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called Remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the Calamity and Seventh Umbral Era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity? No, dear Alizé, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the Calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience. There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
My lady! We are to escort you!
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all. The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
Alright. So, at the end of this live stream, we have a decision to make. Serpent Officer, Flame Officer, Storm Officer. Well, I'm not making this decision this time alone. So I'm going to leave it to my viewers to decide. If I have any viewers. I'll wait. I'll wait a couple of weeks for the next live stream of this. Give people a bit of time to, give a bit of polling. See which one is more powerful. I know it really doesn't affect, the storyline in any way, but it does determine our next, area of assignment. The choice is up to you guys. I'm going to be polling on the Cruisenix Purgatory page, as well as the on various players groups. So feel free to join in the poll. But until then, I'm going to get out of here because I want to play something different before my guest gets here. So until next time, Cruisenix X out.